Okay, so you've got an assignment due. You see it in your posts here in Teams. So you click on it and it takes you in here. And what you will see is something that looks like this. Okay, you'll notice that there's a little N there for OneNote. You'll also notice that I have Teams and OneNote. They're kind of like separate programs, but they work together. So right now I'm in Teams. I'm going to click on this and it's going to take me into OneNote. Okay, when I get into OneNote, I can see the assignment sitting there, and this is where you need to work from. Now I've just switched over to looking at this in OneNote. Okay, you will have your own name in here and your own work and your own little folder where your work will appear. So you should see something that looks something like this. You may or may not see a printout, but there'll be some sort of file that you're meant to work on. Okay, so this might be a Word file, and in this case, this is a Word file. So if I click on it, it will open up in Microsoft Word for me, and I can work away at it. Okay, so let's say you fill that all out, and what you're going to go do is you're going to go File, Save As, and you're going to pick where you want to save it. In this case, I'll just save it to my desktop and call it sample work, and I'll go save. All right, so now that's sitting on my desktop. Now what I need to do, this is the key thing that I think people are getting confused about, is I need to put my finished work up here along with this stuff. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go insert. Okay. And I'm going to insert it as a printout. The reason why I want to insert it as a printout is so that I can see it. So there it is, the work that I just did. I pick it, I go open, and you just wait a minute or two, and boom, it uploads. Okay, now the reason I want to do this is because when I come in to mark this, I can actually draw right on your page. Okay, so check marks, X's, etc. Okay, if you don't turn it in this way, I can't do that. Okay, now that's how you do a Word document, but it's also exactly the same if, let's say, you had a fillable PDF. You would insert your PDF and you would choose printout, and it would appear just like this. This is in fact a PDF that's showing up here, but your work would be in there. And the key thing too is when you're working on a PDF, you have to make sure you're working in Adobe. All right. The default with Microsoft is it will open that file in Edge, and then you'll have trouble saving, or it'll open it on WebView. You'll also have trouble saving. So you need to have the Adobe Reader app or program on your computer. It's free. Just Google Adobe Reader and download that, and then you can do a fillable PDF. You also have this option, which is pretty handy too, and you can actually just come right here, okay, and you can write right in here. Okay, so you can actually come right in here and type. I'll be able to see that as soon as you're done. Once you've put your finished work up into OneNote in the correct file, whatever folder we're working in here, okay, so for whichever kid you are, you can make sure it's in the right folder. Then you submit that finished OneNote page in Teams. So back in Teams, you submit it and you link it to the OneNote page that you just filled in. Then you're done. I can see it. You'll know you've done it correctly when you can actually see your work with your own eyes on the screen. One last thing is, if you say have printed your work off and you have it as an image, file and printout aren't going to work for images, but you can insert pictures. So if you click, from file, say it's sitting on your desktop, come to your desktop and you find a picture, and you just pop that picture up in there, and then I'll be able to see it. Okay, so that's all the different ways. You can actually as well come in here and you can draw on this page too. So if you're working on a tablet and you've got good penmanship with this thing, you should be able to just come in here and you can write your answers right in here as well. Okay, that's probably not the best option unless you have a stylus and a tablet, but it's also something that you can do. So again, this is like a notebook. You have to imagine like a virtual notebook, like your real notebook would have ring binders and pages, These are tabs for different things in your ring binder, and then in there, so in physics, you have all your different assignments. And on that page, you can do whatever. I can come in and see what you've done on this page. So if you're drawing on it or you're filling in your work in all these different ways, I can see it. You've got to make sure your work gets posted into OneNote in your file folder. Once you get that figured out, it's way easier for you and way easier for me to ensure that your work gets turned in and marked correctly and you get the feedback that you need. Thanks.